Hi student, I'm going to go through question 11 to 18 of the time practice booklet A. Let's start with question 11. A rope of length 7.2 meters was cut into 3 pieces. The first piece was 3 times as long as the second piece. The second piece was twice as long as the third piece. How long is the second piece? So I am going to draw a simple model for the first, second, and third pieces of rope. So first piece as compared to the second piece is 3 times. So I'm going to draw 3 units to show you. Okay, however, the second piece was twice as long as compared to the third, meaning the second piece, when I compare to the third, it is 2 times as long as the third piece. So I am going to subdivide and draw for you to see. Now with this, all my units are of different size. How can I subdivide all the units so that they are of the same size? Yes, you are right. I can subdivide over here. And taking into account they are looking for the second piece. Let me highlight for you. They are really looking for the second piece. So let's be very careful when we solve the question. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 units is 7.2 meters. Let's find 1 unit by taking 7.2 divided by 9, which is 0.8. And let's find 2 units, 0.8 times 2, which is 1.6. So the answer is 2. Now looking at question 12, Rani has 3 20-cent coins and 2 50-cent coins. She put some coins into a donation tin. Which of the following could be what she have donated? Now I'm going to highlight for you or even draw out for you to see so that you are clear. That means I have 3 20-cent coins and I have 2 50-cent coins. So these are the only 5 coins that Rani has, which are the combination that can be donated. So you can look at the option. Is it possible to have 280? Now the maximum we can have is $1 here. You will have a $1 here. And the maximum that we can have is only 60 cents. So really cannot have 280. I'm going to cross out this. Is it possible to have $1.50? $1 can, but in order to have 50 cents, we don't have 10 cents. We don't have 10-cent coins, so it's a bit tough. So option 2 is out as well. So let us see. Could it be 90 cents? 90 cents. Possible. 1 50 cent, 1 20 cent, and another 20 cent will give me 90 cents. So this is possible. So option 3 is possible. However, option 4, 30 cents, is it possible? Not possible. Same reason, because we do not have any 10-cent coins. Okay, so the answer for this is option 3. Answer for 11 is option 2. Let us take a look at question 13. Okay, participants of a quiz must obtain at least a certain score in the first round in order to qualify for the second round. There were 200 participants in the first round, and the bar graph shows the number of participants of each score. So I am going to write down on top the score so that you are clear. The number of participants that score 0, score 1, score 2, score 4 and 5 or more. Now there is a very important clue here. They say 40% of the participants did not qualify for the second round. From the bar graph, what was the lowest score of a participant who qualified for the second round? This means that 40% didn't qualify. It also means that certain percentage qualify. That means they really qualify. You're quite happy they qualify. So I take 100% minus 40% to get 60%. Meaning 60% of the students, of the participant qualify for second round. So I'm going to find out how many qualify for the second round. I take 60% of the 200 participants and I will get 120 participants who are quite happy because they qualify for the second round. Okay, of course, they say they need to obtain a certain score to qualify. Of course, in order to qualify, you will get the participant with the highest score. So let us take a look. If the score is 5 or more, you got 80. If I take 120 minus 80, I will get 40. Just nice, there's 40 participants who scored 4 points actually can also qualify for the second round because only 60% can qualify. So the question asks, what was the lowest score? So if you score 5, you qualify. You score 4, you also qualify. But 4 and 5, which score is lower? It is 4. Can score number 3? Score 3 can qualify or not? Cannot. Why? Because if 120 plus 10, I got 130, but no, only 60% of the participant qualify for the second round, which is just nice 120 participants. Now, let's take a look at question 14. There are some roses, carnations, and tulips at a flower shop. The ratio of the number of roses to the total number of tulips and carnation is 4:7. The ratio of the number of tulips to the number of carnation is 2:3. Now, many of you actually could solve this, but you were stuck at a portion here. You were asking, actually, you were predicting that 2 and 3, you will get 5 units. However, on the left side here, there are 7. 5 and 7 are different. So we have learned how to make it the same. How to make them the same. We look for the common multiple. What is the common multiple of 7 and 5? So you tell me 7 times 5 is 35. Okay, I'm going to multiply by 7 here and multiply by 5 here. And to be fair, we need to do the same for all the numbers in the ratio so that the units are of the same size. I check, is 21 plus 14 35? Yes, it does. So now they ask you, find the ratio of the tulips to the roses. Tulips to the roses. They want tulips first to the roses. And don't be scared because the ratio is not in the simplest form yet. So if I divide by 2, I will get 7:10. Option 4. Now the whole crux of this question 14 is to look for this common multiple. Let me highlight for you again. How to make the 5 to be the same as 7. So to find the common multiple. Okay, next question. Question 15. A machine started printing posters at 9 a.m. in the morning at a rate of 1,000 posters per hour. After every 6 hours of printing, it was stopped for an hour. How many posters were printed by 11 a.m. the next day? For this question, you will need a timeline. For you to be very clear, how many hours is printed? How many hours the machine is printing? How long is the break? So let's start with a long timeline. Let me show you. Okay, let me show you the timeline. Let's say you start at 9 a.m. I'm using 24 hours so that you're not confused. So let's count. 9 a.m., 6 hours later, 9 in our head, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So 6 hours later, it will be 1500 hours. Take note that there is a 1 hour break and they will restart again at 1600 hours. Then I count again 6 hours later. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So, at 2200 hours is also 6 hours later. Then you have a 1 hour break to 2300 hours. So this break, I'm not going to write anything because the machine is not moving, but I still continue counting. Okay, 23 in our head, we are going to count 6 hours later. 23, 0, 100 hours, 100, 200, 3, 4, 5. So 6 hours later is 500 hours, which is 5 a.m. like in the morning. Take note that he still rested for 1 hour, 1 hour. If you do not have enough space, then I start below. 1 hour later is 6 a.m. And it's going to stop at 11 a.m. Let's count forward again. From 6 to 11, how many hours is that? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So there's 5 hours. Let me write down properly for you, 5 hours. So 6 hours plus another 6 hours plus another 6 hours plus another 5 hours, I will have 23 hours. So 23 times 1000, you get 23,000. Now for this question, the timeline is very important. You can pause and draw out, and you can follow my arrow so that you are quite clear all this number came from where. Okay, so let me actually go through the highlighting with you. The first 6 is here, second 6, third 6, and the last 5 hours is here to get 23 hours. I multiply by 1000 because every hour the machine printed 1000 posters. Alright, I'm going to move on to the next question, question 16. What percentage of the total number of pens are red from both X and Y? Okay, so at least I know. Let's find the total first. Total 100 plus 300 gives me 400. But I need to find out exactly in X how many red pens are there. So let us find out. 4% of 100, you realize that with cancellation, the number is not too tough. 8% of 300, 24. 24 plus 4, which is 28. So now let us write down the numbers properly in the fraction and multiply by 100%. You will get 7%. Option 2. There's no shortcut because all these questions are 2 marks each. That's why you will need to find out the numbers exactly. How many red in X, which is 4. How many red in Y, which is 24. Alright, question 17. Once again, it's time. They are telling you in the television guide, one program leads to another without any break in between, and they are interested in the music program. How long? How much longer is the music program as compared to news. So to find music, if the starting time is 10:10, the ending time is 11:30, you need to go and do your counting by using a timeline, meaning 10:10 to the next hour, let's say 1 hour later, is 11:10. And from 11:10 to 11:30, okay, is 20 minutes. I know that 1 hour is 60 minutes, so 20 plus 60, I know that the music program is 80 minutes. See, I am using a timeline. I don't go and use the time minus the time. As for news, starting time 11:30, ending time 12:20. So what do? I go to the next hour first, and this is 30 minutes. Then I ask myself, from 12 to 12:20, how many minutes is that? It's 20 minutes. So I will take 30 plus 20 to give me 50. When do you subtract time? You can only subtract time if it's this duration. Meaning I can take 80 minutes minus 50 minutes to get 30 minutes. Option 1. However, I cannot take like that 11:30 minus 10:10. This cannot, because for every regrouping is 60 minutes. We use a timeline. Okay, so this option is 1. Last but not the least, pattern question. I think in class we have learned what is a pattern. A sequence that repeats itself. And many of you can find the pattern for me. You can tell me is A, B, C, A, C, A. A, B, C, A, C, A. So many of you can tell me the pattern is here before it repeats again. And you can also tell me that there are 6 letters here. And in the 6 letters, C appear 2 times, and there are 2 C's. Why am I interested in C? Because the question asks, the letter C appears 163 times in the pattern. What is the greatest possible number of letters in the pattern? So many of you also divided by 2, because one group, your C appear 2 times. I write down one group, C appears 2 times. Go and learn how many groups remainder what. So I'm going to do my working here. I have 81 groups, remainder 1. Okay, this remainder 1 is remainder 1C that cannot be formed a group. So I got 81 groups of this. 1 ah, 2 ah, 1 ah, 2 ah, 3 ah, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way to 81. 81 groups of this, and my last C appears here. This remainder 1, this C, this one last C actually appears here. But they are asking what is the greatest number of letters in this pattern? So the next step is, I know I got 81 group. And I know that one group there are 6 letters. So never mind. I find the 81 groups first. Okay? Then I will have 486 letters. It's not found in our option because we know that they are asking about greatest. So after this 486, actually what I can do is I can still add one more letter here, another more letter here, and this C. Most of you stop here. But is this the greatest number? No, actually I can stop here, add one more. I can add this A again. So this means that I'm going to plus 1, plus 1, plus 1, plus 1, which is 490. This one represents the A here. This one represent the A over here, while this one represent the letter B. This represent the C, but we don't stop here because I can count one more letter. I can count one of the last letter A over here. That is why the answer is option 3. Please go through this again and again to be very sure of how to get the answer. Thank you.